Good morning, welcome everybody to Keazy Reelz, where I talk about the NBA, the NFL, and all live topics that we can talk about. These are short videos that I'll do about my sports and life. So hope y'all like it, enjoy it, check it out. So if y'all don't know who I am, my name's Keazy, and today I am going to be talking about the Sixers. So they're down 0-3. And the problem that I've talked about with the Sixers has been the actual top. So I'll start from the top to the bottom. So they're down 0-3 to the Celtics, and I'll tell you why. The Sixers need to clean house. They should have cleaned house after the whole Colangelo debacle, and they didn't. They kept Brett Brown around. I've said this on our podcast, Underground Real Sports. It's really sickening. But I'll break it down for you. So Brett Brown has been around for 4 years too late. You never see a, dare I say, tanking coach stay around this long. And he stayed around too long. So when it starts from the top, it starts from the top where ownership is. Ownership has to care. Josh Harris has pretty much put this team in a debacle since the Colangelo debacle. And I'll tell you why. Brett Brown is his guy. He's loyal to Brett Brown. He's loyal to the guys that have been there from the beginning. And he's loyal to a detriment because he's actually killing the team. Brett Brown's voice doesn't matter to these players anymore. The system that he's implemented doesn't fit the talent that we have. I've said this many times before that this is probably what has killed the team, and they really need to clean house. And I mean clean house, starting with ownership. He needs to sell the team. He doesn't care about the team as he's loyal to Brett Brown, and Brett Brown is the person that's killing his team. I hear a lot of debacle about Elton Brand and the roster selection. Well, Brett Brown is actually a part of that. Elton Brand doesn't have full say on trades, doesn't have full say on the roster. This is a collective selection of players. So as long as Brett Brown's here, he has a say-so, and he has gotten players that really don't fit into the system where he wants to do space and pace, as they call it, the new NBA. I'll tell you why that doesn't work with this team. You have a 7-foot generational talent in Embiid, which he's not the focal point of the offense. I don't even know what the focal point of the offense is. If anybody can tell me that, drop a link below and tell me how this offense is supposed to work. He should be the focal point of the offense because he's the most dominant player in the league. And if they make the focal point about Embiid, the team will do better. As you see now with Simmons out, he's dominating. He could dominate probably more if people look for Embiid. And that's why I'm dying for the next coach to be in and make the focal point of the offense be Embiid. If they do that, I can see this thing turning around a little bit better. I've said this before, like I said on our podcast, shout outs to Underground Real Sports, Taji, myself, and Dame. We talk about sports life on that podcast, and we've said for years that Brett Brown does not cater to the talents of his actual roster. He hasn't developed anybody since he's been here. It's time for him to go. They need a new voice. They need to relearn what Brett Brown has taught them to learn. And I'll tell you this, it's a very easy solution for what I think that the Sixers can do. They need to bring in a coach that has a specific offense ran for a big person. And when I say that, a center. We've seen this before. We've seen the focal point of the center be the point of the offense. Patrick Ewing, Hakeem Olajuwon, Tim Duncan. These are all you have to do is just watch the tape. Watch the tape of what those coaches did and replicate it. That's literally all you need to do. They call this new NBA the new NBA where you need shooters and all that. I don't think so. You have everybody running around trying to do the same thing. Why don't you do something different? Build something different. Have Embiid be the focal point of the offense. That's all you need to do. All you really, really need to do is do that. And you need to teach him more of the post game. And my vote for this and the coach that I would put in would be Sam Cassell. And I'll give you 3 reasons why Sam Cassell will be the good coach for the Sixers moving forward. Number one, he was a point guard, right? He can teach Ben Simmons more point guard things that he can do to have the offense run very smoothly. Put aside the ego, give the ball to Embiid. That's all you need to do. Give the ball to Embiid. He passes out a double team. We'll figure it out. That's exactly what they did in Houston. He won 2 championships in Houston doing the same thing, right? Number 2, he knows how to play with a big man. He played with Akeem Olajuwon, one of the best centers ever. People compare Embiid as the new Olajuwon. Well, how about this? Teach him Olajuwon moves. Teach him how he needs to pass out the double team. And now you notice I'm saying the word teach. That's what he needs to be done. Like, these stars need to be taught, untaught what Brown taught him. And number 3, he has a championship pedigree. He's won an NBA title. He's won at the highest level. I think he can relate to players. He's played the game. He's played the game with greats. He's played the game with Hall of Famers. This is something that can gravitate to a team. They will listen. He's done it before. Why would you not listen to somebody that's won a championship, right? I've always said this. Normally, those players make the best coaches because they know what it takes to win. Sam Cassell is a great assistant under Doc Rivers right now, and I think that he would bring in what the culture that we would need to get that stink off of us, because obviously we've had that tanking culture around way too long, and it needs to change. I understand, the roster construction the way it is now. I think that he can actually make it work, actually put in an offense that can actually work for the team, and actually have an offense, like an offensive identity, like tough grit. Like, we have size, we have length that would give anybody problems, anybody, right? So, Brett Brown, I suggest for your last game, if you can, watch tapes of what Akeem did. Watch tapes of what Patrick Ewing did. Watch tapes about Tim Duncan. My God, you coached Tim Duncan. Why is this so hard that he can't figure this out? I never understood why he sees the game the way it is, but you actually coached with a big man in Tim Duncan, where he was the focal point of the offense. This is not rocket science, guys. It kind of hurts me to think that he actually learned under Popovich. What did he learn from Popovich? He is the complete opposite of Popovich. I can tell you now, if the situation was reversed and Pop was coaching this team will be in a very, very better situation, because Pop, number one, has ownership, accountability, and he doesn't play those type games. Brett Brown lets them get around with way too many things. I don't understand what his substitution things are. It just needs to change. Everything in the organization needs to change. And it starts from the top. I beg of you, Josh Harris, if you can hear this, sell the team to somebody that cares. Sell it. I understand you're a businessman, but the roster construction is a direct result of the hierarchy that you have in place. There's no the guy. There's no the guy making decisions. It's a joint decision from everybody. And I don't think that's the way it should be. Why are we the only team in the NBA that has this construction of the top? Like, do you see other corporations running like there's a person that calls a shot. There's a person that says, I am calling the shot. And I think that they need to revisit what that really means. And until they do that, I don't know. They'll just keep running into the same problems. So that's the episode for today. Hopefully y'all liked it. If you liked it, make sure you hit the subscribe button. If you don't like it, make sure you tell me why, and we can talk about it. Leave your comments below. This is Keazy coming in for Keazy Reelz. Hope y'all had a great time listening to me. I'll do a lot more of these, and make sure that you guys tune into Underground Real Sports. That podcast is the best podcast in Philadelphia for Philly sports. Listen to the Underground Railroad, as we are the best podcast out for Philadelphia, period. We talk about real life stuff. Subscribe, Keazy Reelz, and coming soon to this channel will be conversations with Keazy. So I'm trying to launch this thing great and do things the right way, and hopefully you guys will understand that and listen to more content about not just the Sixers and Phillies or the Flyers, but everybody. I have comments on everybody, but I'll keep it short. And hopefully y'all like what y'all see. Come back again for the next episode. Once again, this is Keazy coming in for Keazy Reelz. Thank y'all for tuning in. Peace.